All right, last but not least, we've moved from the mouth, down the esophagus to the stomach, all the way through the small intestine, this really long environment, the duodenum, the jejunum, the ileum, and we found our way to the large intestine and colon. And here we're going to reiterate a little bit of digestion action, look at just some amount of absorption, but really the main job of the large intestine is to eliminate our food, to get rid of what we don't need. Let's take a closer look. What's happening here? And so as I mentioned, we do see some digestion. The colon is the #1 spot for bacteria. So much salt, we saw this, the big part of the gut microbiome. It's kind of like the little land of all these little bacteria. Even some cute cartoons to teach kids, talking about little monsters being your bacteria. And these bacteria, like us, digest stuff. And they can digest, in particular, fiber, but any kind of polysaccharide that might make its way there is going to potentially be at the mercy of these bacteria. Any other leftovers for the lactose intolerant, lactose is going to make its way down here. And so really anything here in the intestine that's making its way is potential fodder, potential food for bacteria. Now, it does a few things when it digests that. When we look at bacterial digestion can synthesize some things. Some vitamins we can get, some we can't. Vitamin K, for example, is generated by your gut bacteria, as is B12. And this we can get, but this we cannot. So we do have bacterially generated vitamin K as a source of vitamin K. In addition to this, bacteria produce gas, which is not always a good thing. If you have a lot of fermentation, as you would see here, the more fermentation, the more gas. And so with the lactose intolerant here, we would see a lot of gas, bloating, pain goes with that because, it's still a closed system that's going to press on the intestinal tract. What else? Another very important part of this digestion is the water balance, moving both in and out here in the intestines. So if we think of water balance, remember this is outside the body. Just imagine that there's tissues here. We know that it goes into our circulatory system. Water can move in and out. And that's sort of to maintain concentration. So the more of this stuff you have then, we talk about all these things that make it there. These are all solutes. Other things could be things like sugar alternatives, maybe some saccharin that didn't digest. Other things that might digest, drugs, alcohol, and he's left. These solutes need to be concentrated or deconcentrated. So water will come in to change the concentration. Of the waste product. And while this is an important function, when we have a little too much water, we would see diarrhea. And when we don't have enough water, we see constipation. So within this water balance phenomenon, we can see some concerns here, potential concerns where we see diarrhea and constipation. All right, so what else happens here? We can see some small amount of mineral absorption. So any minerals that get here, some small amount is going to be absorbed. And also that vitamin K, it's not a mineral but a vitamin. So we do see some absorption of minerals and vitamin K. But the big job, that big job of your colon is waste. And as we talk later on about the role of fiber in this whole big picture, fiber makes it to your colon, I'm going to talk a little bit about the role of fiber in moving food along. And we'll find out that in the stomach, in the small intestine, that fiber actually slows things down, helps things get through there in a little more time, excuse me, so you can absorb it. But when we get here to waste excretion, this transit time is going to be sped up. So fiber will help speed it up and get it out. That's going to be different from what happens earlier on in the small intestine. We'll review that when we come back to the carbohydrate section, but this gets you to start thinking about that phenomenon.